Hey folks, welcome to my channel Number Pen. So there we have the problem on our screen. Find the derivative of the following function with respect to the corresponding independent variable. So the function that's been given to us is e to the power minus x into log x, right? So again, we see that this is a product of two functions. So if I can call my f of x as e to the power minus x into log x, what are my u and v, right? And if I can call my u as e to the power minus x, if I can call my v as log of x, what is my f dashed, right? So we can apply the product rule of differentiation. My f dashed is nothing but uv dashed plus vu dashed, right? That's how we have our f dashed. So now I know my u and v. We will have to figure out what is our u dashed and v dashed, right? So let's start off with u dashed. So this is where I'm going to apply the chain rule of differentiation, right? My chain rule, what does it state? My chain rule states that d by dx of f of g of x, right, is equal to f dashed with respect to g of x into g dashed of x, right? So what is my du with respect to minus x? With respect to minus x, my du is nothing but e to the power minus x itself, right? So let's write that, right? And into g dashed of x, right? Remember that my d by dx of f of g of x is nothing but f dashed with respect to g of x multiplied by g dashed of x with respect to x, right? So my u dashed in this particular case will be e to the power minus x into d by dx of minus x, which is a minus 1, right? So that's how I arrive at u dashed, and which means I can rewrite this as minus e to the power minus x, right? So this is my u dashed, and this I have attempted to apply the chain rule of differentiation directly. And if you folks are confused whenever it comes to the chain rule of differentiation, at least for a few problems, you can do it by the method of substitution, right? And I'm going to quickly do that for you here. So let's assume my minus x equals, say, uh, what do we call this? Say a w, right? I'm calling my minus x of e to the power minus x as a w, right? So what is my du by dx, right? All I've been asked to find u dashed, which is du by dx, folks. And what is my du by dx? It is nothing but du by dw, du by dw into dw by dx, okay? By dx, okay? And what is my du by dw? My du by dw is differentiation of u with respect to w, right? And what is my u in terms of w? Let's write that out here. So when I make the substitution minus x equals w, I know that my u will become equal to e to the power w, right? So this is what happens to my u in terms of w, and what is my du by dw. And folks, we have solved this in our earlier videos. Basis first principles, we know that my du by dw will be e to the power w again, right? So let me write that. So, which means I'm coming back to the du by dx expression, which is my u dashed with respect to x, is du by dw, which is again e to the power w, into a dw by dx, which is, I go back to this expression where I've done the substitution minus x equals w, right? So let me figure out what is my dw by dx. dw by dx equals minus 1. Okay, so what is my du by dx? I'm coming back to the final step of u dashed, which I've highlighted in yellow, is e to the power w into dw by dx, which is nothing but a minus 1, right? So which is minus e to the power w, right? So now I go back, I substitute my w with minus x because I'm expected to represent my final answer in terms of x, right? So that means my final answer is minus of e to the power minus x, right? So that's how we arrive this, and what we call in calculus as the composite rule or the chain rule of differentiation, right? So I know my u dashed. I'm going back to my product rule out here, folks. I'm going to move to the next line. So my f dashed is nothing but uv dashed plus vu dashed. So what is my uv dashed, right? So my u is e to the power minus x. I copy it as it is. And then my v dashed is d by dx of log x, right? Which is 1 by x, right? And I will put a link to the particular video where we have solved for log of x using first principles. So I request you to take a look at that, because this is again a formula that you'll be expected to remember when you're solving complex problems in differentiation, right? So I have my d by dx of log x equal to 1 by x, and then I apply my du dashed, which is nothing but plus log x, which is my v, into u dashed, which we just calculated as minus of e to the power minus x, right? So I rewrite this like this. So there I have the final answer. I can pull out e to the power minus x because that seems to be a common factor. That's our f dashed. And let me highlight it. So my f of x being e to the power minus x log x, my f dashed is e to the power minus x into 1 by x minus log x, right? So I hope you found this content useful. Please do subscribe to my channel and support. Thank you.